the way I process the world and the things that I share. It takes a lot of solitude and comfort in that seclusion for a person to be able to hear themselves so intimately and so deeply. I find it necessary, even unavoidable, for self awareness. But perhaps somewhere along the way, I got too comfortable. I know a lot of people, many of whom adore me in some capacity and of whom I feel the same about. However, I have a history of not sharing much of myself at all, not as a defense mechanism or a trauma response, but innately, I find myself forever oscillating between visibility and retreat. I am incredibly good with people. I am like a chameleon, yeah. Even when there's anxiety and unsureness, I'm the kind of person who can insert myself anywhere, with anyone. If I come across as unfriendly or aloof, it's simply because in that moment I do not care to be anything else. I can't tell you how many times someone has said, Pearl, you said this to me years ago and I've never forgotten it. And usually I don't even remember. It's the space I've always occupied, the one who breathes and speaks life. I am the kind of person who will sit with a stranger and speak to them like our souls have yearned for each other across lifetimes. And yet, I am also the kind of person who will leave that interaction never to be seen again. I value community deeply. I do. And this is where the dichotomy arises. There's a deep, deep clash with my wiring. I was born this way, yeah. Pondering, questioning, feeling, floating, deconstructing what it means to exist in this form. I'm forever connecting the dots, learning new things, and he always leaves me in the same spot, completely out of my depths. The more I learn, the less I seem to know. And while I have come to accept that I know nothing, the knowledge that finds its way to me, the things that have been whispered into my being, drive me into solitude. Simply put, my way of processing the world always keeps me hovering. I don't think I can ever stop floating, no. But the goal is to build and nurture a kind of community that feels tangible. I would like to spend more time with you. I want to be more intentional about community, and I want you steady in mine. That's the extra layer of intentionality I must imbibe. I must practice. I use a calendar to remind myself to do all sorts of things. To eat, to change my sheets, to wash my hair, to keep life ticking. So maybe I can use that same calendar to reach out every now and then, it doesn't have to be every day, to my wider community whom I love, just so they know that I want them here with me, in my life, in my space. I want them deeply. I do not believe I owe my fullness to everyone whom I come across, no. But I do believe I do to those who have shown up with curiosity, intentionality, and kindness. Those whom I love, those who dare to love me fully. Ask my nearest and dearest what it is like to be loved by me, and whatever they tell you will reflect this. It's something psychedelic. It's visceral. And yet I am not one to tighten my grip around another. Never have I felt the need to possess anyone, internally or externally. This is the kind of love I offer and the kind I accept even when it's not on offer. I believe this to be good and very healthy. People are experiences, not possessions. I worry that maybe I've held on so gently, so loosely, that those people I care about haven't even felt held at all. The most accurate description of myself I've ever received was from another friend who said, Pearl, for someone to love you truly, they have to be willing to let you go. Community has never been a burden. In fact, it has kept me alive. I do remember. I remember all those people whose lives I've passed through and who have crossed through mine. It was people like this who kept me afloat. While I am singular, I've never truly been alone. It's people who have helped me fix what others have tried to break. So isn't it time I invite them along for the ride? On my flights, in my ponderings, in my retreat? in my play. While I don't know what this will look like for someone like me, I know that people aren't set in stone. So yes, I'll never be a person who disappears into others. Quite frankly, I never want to be. No one should be that way, in all honesty. But I can expand to allow my loved ones space beside me. I want to be better. I can be better. This is my confession.